All right, okay. Hi everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the art track of NUSGG. Welcome to NUS. Welcome to GDG. So, what we're gonna be doing, I'm gonna just touch base on some 2D animation, right? And the reason why I want to do this is because it's so that when you guys start making games, presumably in 2D, you get more than just static sprites, just like blocks moving left and right. Hopefully, we can go beyond that. So for this first lesson, I just want to talk about some principles of animation. I don't want to take too long because a lot of there are like 12 sort of things that are considered the basic fundamental principles of animation, but there's no time to go through all of that. So that's for the first lesson. The next two lessons it will be taken by somebody else because that's just how we end up planning it, and you guys you'll be getting more hands on with making a blobby animal and a blobby human. And who am I? Why am I qualified to do this? I am not. I'm just the guy which they pulled out because I did this back when I was still part of the exco, back when I was still at school. Okay, very nice. Principles of animation. I'm only gonna talk about three of them. So you guys can read all these but the three things that I really want to focus on are here. Squash and stretch, anticipation, and timing. Because these three things, uh, I feel like they're the most immediately applicable when you are making small scale animations as amateurs for games. So first, let's talk about timing, right? What is timing? So basically, when you are animating, you are faking motion and you want to impart a sense, of movement to whoever's looking at your animation. And because you're faking motion, uh, motion in real life, it it's not it's not uniform, right? Like top this top boxes here. Things speed up and slow down. They have to abide by the laws of physics. So you have to get the timing, uh, the motions right, right? The things that are stationary, they don't suddenly start moving. They slow up. They speed up from a stationary position, and same as when they stop moving. If they don't like crash into something, right? They're like just slowly losing their own speed. Then you would expect them to slowly get slower as well. So yeah, this is basically what I was talking about. And this is the same thing as here lah, except that I actually drew this. I didn't draw the boxes, but I did draw these balls. So you can see your ball should be spending like a bouncing ball, right? The one on the left, it just looks like it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. But the one on the right, uh, because it's actually slowing down at the apex of the motion, it looks like it's being affected by gravity. And because it's spending so little time at the bottom, it looks like it's going faster at the bottom. And because it's going faster at the bottom, it looks like there's a force being applied. It suddenly bam, it's going back up. Just as I'm just gonna pause here. Does anyone have any questions? Is the pace okay? If no one's gonna say, you can unmute yourself or speak in chat. I'm just monitoring both. Uh, if if no one's gonna say anything in like 5 seconds, how do you control timing? Do you increase the number of frames or just speed up the frame? Uh, Okay, so there are a bunch of ways to do this, lah. Let me open MS Paint. So if you're working on a fixed frame rate, then there's not. So if you're working on a fixed frame rate, that means that um, all of your frames have to be they all take the same amount of time. So in that case, in order to so all of these frames are taking the same amount of time. So if you wanted the ball to stay in the air longer, you could add like 2 frames here, right? Then then these frames are also taking the same amount of time, and ta-da! Now there are more frames where it's at the top. Increase the number of frames. Yeah, speed up through the frame is also possible. Like the like very traditional animation, like super old school Disney stuff. They have a fixed frame rate, but with games, you can mess with your frame rate. Like you can mess with how often you want the animation to update. So it's really up to you. Both are okay in when you're just doing like games, like simple stuff like this. Yeah. Yeah. That's I'm gonna restart the timer. If no one says anything in 5 seconds, I'm gonna continue again. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Yeah. Okay. All right. So squash and stretch. Now, so like I was talking about just now, animation is about faking motion, right? And so the keyword on the first principle of timing is motion. The keyword for squash and stretch it's faking, because you do have like things they have to move according to the laws of physics, but also at the same time we can kind of go beyond that. Objects, in order to emphasize motion, we can change the shape of the objects, we can break the shape of the objects, make them do things that they generally wouldn't do in real life. So case in point, this cube here, when it hits the ground, it flattens out to demonstrate the impact of that. And the same thing again, to demonstrate the impact of gravity acting on it, they stretch it out before the top part kind of rubber bands back. Yeah. And then I have, yeah, so don't be afraid of breaking the shape, like getting an incorrect shape, because when you're animating, you're not creating, you're not just creating a series of static images. You are creating one motion, right? So don't you don't have to focus too much on things being like uh, anatomically accurate or anything like that. And once again, so I did this bouncing ball thing is to try and show you, like try and show someone who'd be watching this, how you can layer these things on top of each other, and then the animation slowly looks nicer and nicer. So here, I try and do the same thing as what the other artist did with the cube, is to elongate the ball when it's falling and flatten it out when it hits the ground. So hopefully, you can kind of see that the left one has a bit more impact to it than the one on the right. And now anticipation, right? So anticipation. So the previous two, okay, actually, sorry. Let me pause again, right? Let me pause again, so that everyone can collect the thoughts, so that I don't like overpace everyone. If you have any questions, you can ask again. Okay, so I guess there are no questions. Hopefully, no one missed anything. Let's talk about anticipation. So, what's anticipation? Basically, I think the easiest way to talk about this, right, is just like show you a punch, right? So, am I on screen? Hopefully, you can just punch someone like this, right? But this just doing this motion might be hard for the audience to catch. If you're animating. So what if you made your character just wind up all the way, and then he punches, right? So this front part, it creates anticipation for this eventual motion. And that's kind of what I think the artist was trying to demonstrate here with the box. So there's this little part where before he finally tips over and lands, the box is kind of like stationary. Once again, the anticipation is kind of like related to timing. The idea is to allow your audience to be able to see what is happening. Well, yeah, the two ideas here, right? The first idea is that you telegraph the next motion by like holding the current motions stationary. So when nothing is happening right now, the audience can see and the audience can expect something to happen. So that's the first thing. The second thing is also, once again, it creates more impact, because if you have a wind up and then a release of tension, uh, when your audience can recognize the first thing, which is like they can expect what action is gonna take place next, then they also get that build up and release of tension. And yeah, okay, this one. So now one on the right was the same animation as just now, and the one on the left, it's the same thing except that it stays at the top for just a bit longer before it starts moving down, and it stays at the bottom just a bit longer before it bounces back up again. So staying at the top like that, it creates anticipation for the ball eventually falling down, and staying at the bottom just a bit longer creates anticipation for the ball bouncing back up. So yeah, hopefully, once again, hopefully this is visible. Like, I'm not just talking nonsense. Hopefully you guys can actually feel this in the animation. All right. This was I think maybe I'll just open this. And let me jump to the part. Right. So this is King of Fighters fighting game. What I just really wanted to show everyone was this part at 039, right? So this guy, he's gonna throw someone, right? And let's just watch how he does it. Yeah, you see that? That part where he's just standing there with his leg in the air. It helps you to read. You can tell that, okay, he's gonna step his foot down in the next moment, and he's gonna throw the guy onto the ground. And when he does throw the guy onto the ground, you can feel that impact because you saw him wind up to throw the guy onto the ground. Right? Make sense? Make sense? Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. And I'll pause here again because I think after this, I want you guys to do some extra exercises. Just wondering, did everyone manage to download the free A Sprite? Did anyone not manage to get it? In that case, I'm gonna assume that everyone managed to get it. Okay. And once again, any questions? Okay, I see someone has a thumbs up. Yeah. Even if you don't want to say anything, I think it helps. It helps me lah. If you guys are like reacting, so that I know that you guys know what's going on. But anyway, since there doesn't seem to be anything going on, we're just gonna do. I'll just explain this exercise that I wanted everyone to do. So, my exercise is you've seen this like straightforward bouncing ball. Now, I want everyone to animate their own bouncing ball. You can either do like something that's very simple, something that's just bouncing up and down, so that you get used to going through the motions. But what I really wanted everyone to try to do was to use their knowledge of these three principles and try to make a ball that is demonstrating some kind of emotion. Right. So the one on the left here, I wanted to make it excited, just bouncing up and down. And the one on the right, I wanted to. I think it was like depression. This ball is depressed, and hopefully you guys can see that it's depressed. And yeah, so guys have have a bit of time now. If you're not too tired, you guys have your A Sprite open. Let's put aside some time, and you can make your own bouncing ball animation. Yes. All right. I'm gonna pause the recording here. Let's come back at say. Okay. What time do you guys want to leave? Actually, like honest question, cause I know it's getting quite late. You guys have probably been at school the whole day, so you guys might have like I don't know week one, week two homework to complete. So I also don't want to make everyone sit here and no, you must do this animation. So can anyone throw some opinions into the chat? Do you have uh do you have how do you mind staying until 9:30? Anytime. Very nice. Anyone else? Okay, pretty free today. All right then. Let's convene again at 9, maybe 9:20, 9:10. Yeah. Let's say 9:20 first, but I'll check up on you guys at like maybe 9:10. See how you guys are doing. Uh, yeah, like if everyone's finished up earlier or whatever, we can just move on to the next part, which is just to get everyone to show me what you made. So yeah, I'm gonna pause the recording here, and okay. So sorry for not realizing that. Yeah, you guys downloaded Sprite, but you might not know exactly how to use it. In the future lessons, the person taking the lesson, they'll go through more lah. But I don't want anyone to get bogged down with how to use Sprite. So does everyone know that there is the pencil tool? The pencil tool. Am I sharing? Wait, am I sharing the? Not sharing A Sprite. Sorry. Okay, A Sprite. Okay, so there's a. If you go to the toolbar, you'll be able to find the pencil tool. You select the pencil tool, you will be able to draw. If you and then there's two there are two shortcuts which are important today. Okay, there's a pencil and then there's the eraser lah. So you can erase everything. Okay, okay. And there's two shortcuts that I want everyone to know. Alternate N is to add more frames. And then Shift N is to add more layers, but I'm not sure if you guys really need layers. Like it's just one bouncing ball, you don't have to go too overboard. Then other than that, it's just kind of standard stuff. Like you can Control Z, you can Control A, select everything, you can Control C and Control V to paste it. And you can press enter to play your animation. Yeah. So, yeah, okay, that's about it. I think that's just really all you need for this to be able to do this exercise. So in the future, like I said, they'll go through more. So please go and make some art. Let's convene again at 9:20. I'll check up on everyone at 9:10. Okay. All right, okay. So let me share my screen. Yeah. So I was trying to do anger, but I don't know if this even gets across as anger. But yeah. So yeah, that's all I have. It's not complete. I guess I would make the bouncing balls like this, and it kind of hits a wall and it splits in three walls. I would personally go and complete this bouncing animation of all three balls. And I think there's some issues with timing when it's ricocheting everywhere. And I guess I can go and fix those as well. So yeah, that's my animation. Anyone else wanna go next? Yeah, I stopped sharing. So anyone else wants to share next, you can go ahead. Hello, hello. Oh, if you don't want to share here or yeah having issues sharing here, you can also just share it on the just you can just like throw it on the Learn Art channel. That hopefully you guys were able. I mean, you guys got the A sprite, so I assume that you guys are able to see the channel. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Like, I don't expect everyone to like create a ball of emotion or whatever. If this is like the first time you're doing this bouncing ball kind of thing, that's why I said like the I don't even expect everyone to apply these principles well. Like even I feel like even I don't apply them well. It's just but that's why we practice, because we suck. Yay. All right. Good job. Yay. Good. I mean, maybe something to do with the frame rate or whatever. We didn't see much. So yeah. Actually, there's one thing you can do. If you go to the top left corner, you can export as a GIF. So you can export that as a dot GIF and then post it on the Learn Art channel. So I guess they'll give the next person an idea of where you guys are at. Like the person taking the classes next week. Anyone else want to share? If not, I'll end I'll end the session. Okay, well, if no one's gonna take the share screen or post on the chat or start talking in the next 5 seconds, uh, and that's a very good night to everyone. I hope today has been a good day for you. If not, I hope tomorrow is a better day for you. Or even if it was a good day today, I hope that tomorrow will be an even better one. And that's it. That's all from GDG for today, for tonight. Good night, everyone, and I hope that you'll keep coming for sessions. Bye.